Jeez, Bobby touchdowns. That boy is sick. Throw one up, he coming down with 6.
Welcome to That's Good Sports. I'm Brandon. Bobby Tunyon by Jeez Louise might win a Grammy. Perna. Milwaukee-based Jeez Louise, who you can follow on Instagram, dropped this Bobby Tunyon song before the Packers playoff game, and it might be the best football music ever created. I dropped their link below in Spotify if you want to listen to this song on repeat.
If you can't stand the heat, get out the oven. I chop it up with my babe like Paul Bunyan.
The Packers have the best song of the postseason. The Bills have Stefon, I'm too good to say the A-word Diggs.
He works hard, he busts his, not the A-word, he busts his A-word. And I just love this guy, man.
Liar, Stefon, because you screamed it immediately after that. Let's celebrate the Bills and Packers advancing with the best and worst from their games. Whew. That's good. Sports. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel for constant football news and updates presented in a really stupid format. Today's episode is sponsored by manscaped.com/goodsports, and they are very excited, as am I, to help you whack off your nose and ear hairs with the new Weed Whacker nose and ear hair trimmer. Long nose hair is an issue for me, and it's a turnoff for 79% of partners polled. Plucking nose hairs is more painful than watching the Broncos play football for the last 4 years. Fortunately, for your nostrils, Manscaped has the perfect whacking tool. A 9,000 RPM motor, a 360-degree rotary dual-blade system to make whacking nose hairs easier than ever. It's water-resistant, so you can whack off in the shower without shame. You can actually whack off anywhere with the Weed Whacker. And the lithium-ion battery lasts for up to 90 minutes, ensuring you will always have enough juice to whack off nose and ear hair. To get 20% off and free shipping, you have to use my link below, manscaped.com/goodsports. So be a good sport, and let me help you whack off your unruly nose hair. Let's begin with Packers-Rams. Matt LaFleur versus Sean McVay was the youngest head coaching matchup in the postseason since John Madden faced Don Shula, a stark contrast to the Get Off My Lawn Bowl hosted on Sunday night between Breeze and Brady. Speaking of Brady, Josh Allen now has more wins at 17 in Buffalo than that satanic son of a bitch Brady. Anyway, best? Aaron Jones getting blasted and not only surviving, but not going down and picking up a first and one of the most impressive yards after contact runs of the postseason. The first quarter of this game was winding down, and this is why you love Aaron Rodgers. He hurries the offense to the line, gives out the hard count a couple times, trying to get those free yards, and then when it doesn't work, he just smirks. That sly son of a gun. Worst, the steroids they gave Aaron Donald to play through the horrendous pain of torn rib cartilage got the best of him as he drew this personal foul for unnecessarily trying to rip a dude's head off. Donald, to his credit, instantly showed remorse for his actions on the sideline. Best, Jalen Ramsey explaining to his sideline in great detail why the touchdown he gave up to DeVante Adams was not his fault. How am I supposed to cover that mother licker if he's running 40 yards before the play starts? I'm not Usain Bolt, guys, and you're insane if you think that touchdown's on me. Best, the smoothest damn pump fake touchdown run you have ever seen. Aaron Rodgers finished with -3 rushing yards and a rushing touchdown. Only Jerome Bettis' 3 touchdowns and 1 rushing yard is a more impressive final stat line. The Packers were up 16-3. People were starting to say the Rams were toast, but they answered quickly with their first touchdown of the game. But nobody really cared because Aaron Rodgers stole the show by getting the Packers into field goal range with only 29 seconds to work with. Mainly due to this big connection with Bobby Tunyon.
Catch me making catches in Hawaii like McLovin in my bag, looking crispy, green and gold, rings like Funyuns. Lambo leading when I score, I'm jumping, smoking out of GBs, balling out in GB, I'm Bobby Tunyon.
Sure, Rodgers nearly threw 2 picks after that, but Green Bay split the gooch and Rodgers was playing out of his mind. And since Sean McVay didn't have his unbreakable halftime lead, the banged up Rams stood no chance. Also, let's stop being so impressed with quarterbacks who can lead a drive in less than 30 seconds. As someone who is terrible at sex, I can do plenty in less than 30 seconds, and it's not that impressive. Worst, showing Mason Crosby with an ailing shoulder injury that he suffered on a botched snap, and asking if he'd ever be able to kick again. He's a kicker, not a quarterback or a bass fisherman. Someone who actually uses their shoulder for work. Oh, I'm sorry. Does Mason Crosby need a shoulder to kick a field goal? It's the playoffs. Nobody cares. Worst, too many elite errands in this game. Rodgers, Donald, Jones. I couldn't tell who was who. I mean, who the hell broke off this impressive run? Best, the Rams, even though being thoroughly outplayed by the Packers offense, kept this game interesting and had the play call of the game on this hook and lateral play called on their 2-point conversion. Cam Akers had an impressive touchdown run before that, but every once in a while you get your 2-point play to outshine the actual touchdown. Fun fact, the hook and ladder is actually named after Captain Hook because he lost his hand climbing a ladder, as you might remember from Peter Pan. Best, Allen Lazard scoring a 58-yard redemption touchdown to make up for his drop earlier. This is the best redemption story since Jesus came back to life as Jack Easterby so he could prank the entire Texans franchise. Worst, Aaron Rodgers has a terrible poker face. Here he is right before he tossed that 58-yard tug to the Lizard King, smiling, giving away that he's about to torch the Rams. You better not be doing that shit in the NFC Championship game, Aaron. That's a tell. DeVante Adams finished with 9 catches and a touchdown. The Packers' offense was near perfect, even without star left tackle David Bakhtiari. They put up 484 total yards, which would have been more if Rodgers didn't finish with -3 rushing. 175 on the ground. They allowed 0 sacks. They had 0 turnovers and 3 Aaron Rodgers smirks. They are the first team to do that in the postseason. Ravens, Bills, worst, Justin Tucker misses again. And again. That's 3 misses this postseason. What's wrong with the most clutch kicker of our generation? Oh, wait, I know. It's savvy Bills fans cursing him, sweeping his legs from home. Every superstition matters in the postseason, and the Bills fans know it. Worst, John Harbaugh dressed like the Invisible Man. Invisible is about 10 times more than what Harbaugh could see dressed like this. No wonder the Ravens lost. Best, classically trained Juilliard actor Josh Allen will be accepting his award for best use of a flop to sell a roughing penalty. You know a quarterback has made it when he starts getting roughing calls like that. This was actually probably the most exciting play of the first half, though. Worst, the lack of offense in the first half. Buffalo suddenly learned how to stuff the run. Josh Allen kept overthrowing the deep ball, and the Ravens kept jumping off sides because of a best home crowd noise in Buffalo affecting the game. It literally got too loud there with just 9,000 fans. Best, the Buffalo swirling winds. I love when people are forced to watch really low-scoring NFL games. Now, I'll watch boring football all night, but knowing a bunch of curious fans not really interested in either team had to be tortured makes me happy. Best. The second half belonged to the Bills, who scored their first touchdown on the opening drive coming out of halftime. A balanced approach for the Bills between the run and pass. A big change from their extremely pass-heavy first half that wasn't quite working. Worst. Lamar Jackson's first red zone interception was very costly, as Taron Johnson returned it for thine pick six for a century plus 1 yards. That's how Shakespeare might have written that. Kinda crazy that neither Josh Allen nor Lamar Jackson had thrown a red zone interception heading into this game. Johnson, though, has come a long way since this happened to him at the NFL Combine. See? No matter how many times I see that clip, it will never not make me laugh. Worst. Have you ever seen a center cost a team a playoff game? I mean, besides Marquise Pouncey last week for the Steelers. Ravens backup center, Patrick McCarry, had a rough night. He had multiple bad snaps in this game, but none were more costly than the one that flew over Lamar Jackson's head, resulting in a grounding penalty and took Jackson out of the game with a concussion. It was pretty clear that Lamar hit his head very hard on the ground on that play. It was announced that he was in concussion protocol very quickly, and yet all of Twitter was like, but is it a poop concussion? Worst, Tyler Huntley could have gotten the bench warmer play of the game had he hit a wide open Hollywood Brown instead of overthrowing him. Best, Josh Allen is even more dangerous to the other team when he's on their sideline. Dude is a beast, taking out 2 Ravens after denying the tackle on the field. Worst, this painting of Josh Allen. He looks like a hillbilly version of Che Guevara on the Obama poster. That said, I know this well-intentioned member of Bill's Mafia was drunk before they laid the first stroke of brush to canvas here. Che, of course, was a Marxist, and Josh Allen developed into a marksman. Worst, Bill's Mafia giving the Mafia a good name. They started donating to Lamar Jackson's favorite charity after he left the game with a concussion. That's the classiest thing any Mafia has ever done. Next to maybe the Valentine's Day massacre, when the Mafia single-handedly tried to save men all over the world from having to buy Valentine's Day gifts. Just stop it. It's too funny. Either way, it was pretty cool seeing Bills fans say Lamar Jackson is one of their favorite players to watch, and then unselfishly helping others with $8 donations. My note, if you're an NFL quarterback, you need to wear number 19 to maximize the money you can raise for charity if you lose in the playoffs. Best, the Bills got an Iron Sheik tweet during the game. Now, I'm not a big wrestling guy, so I always thought the Iron Sheik was Sheik brand large condoms like Trojan Magnum, but I was wrong. Magnums, that's what the Bills need as they continue to big dick their way through the postseason. Stefon Diggs finished with over 100 receiving yards in this game, and the Bills defense played possibly their most efficient game of the entire season. The team stepped up on a night where Josh Allen didn't have his best game. And Buffalo is now 2-0 in the 2021 postseason, and they haven't even played their best football yet. That's good news, Bills fans, because they're beating the best opponents even while they don't play perfectly. It means if they click in all 3 phases, they will be unstoppable. And that's your best and worst from the Bills, Packers, victories. Please subscribe here on YouTube and come back tomorrow for best and worst of the Bucs, Saints, and Chiefs, Browns games. I'm on Twitter, @BrandonPerna. You can follow me there if you want. No pressure.